Hey, Ronnie.
Hey, Lou.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell. Actually, I did. You know what? A lot of things took place last week, and I think we should talk about them.
Let's hit some of the high points.
Let's do it next on the Week in Review. Passengers on a flight from California to Hawaii faced a terrifying sight on Tuesday last when the engine's covering ripped off the aircraft.
Yeah, I saw this on the news. The incident happened about 45 minutes before the United Airlines flight reached the airport in Honolulu, according to Maria Falashi, a passenger who tweeted about the scary experience.
United Airlines confirmed to Huffington Post that the aircraft's engine covering, also known as its cowling, it's also an automotive term, was lost during the flight to Honolulu.
The United pilots called for an emergency landing, and the flight landed safely at Daniel K. Inouye International Airport in Honolulu, a company spokesperson said.
Representatives for United told the Post that the company's pilots followed all necessary protocols to land the aircraft safely in Honolulu and that passengers deplaned normally, meaning they didn't have to get those emergency slides. Yeah.
Although that looks like fun.
It does.
Yeah.
Except for the stress you have to go through to get to that point.
The airport's aircraft rescue and firefighting personnel stood by as a safety precaution. According to a Honolulu County information officer, no injuries were reported.
A passenger said the pilots and flight crew did a great job.
You know what? I worked at our airport here in Sacramento.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And anytime there's the slightest little thing, like somebody smells smoke in the cabin, they dispatch that fire crew and they stand by there while the plane is landing.
When do they officially spray the runway? Is it a landing gear thing?
If it's like a foam, when they foam the runway,
right.
Yes, they'll do that. If it's a landing gear thing, they don't have that much on. Typically, our big airport is mostly all commercial. That doesn't happen a whole lot on commercial planes anymore, I don't feel. I know we did it one time when a private person flight, a single aircraft Cessna or a single engine Cessna, was lost in the fog. And they turned all the lights on for him, and then they directed him, and he thought he was going to make it, and he didn't quite make it to the airport. But they did. They threw some foam down for him because he was having some serious issues with the plane.
Well, I can tell you, speaking of aviation, I happen to have a friend who is a air traffic controller at SAC Airport, SAC International Airport.
Right. We have a flight to Mexico.
In any case, it's an incredibly stressful job, he tells me.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a shortage of air traffic controllers in the country right now, and so it's kind of a highly touted position. I also am kind of friends with Sully Sullenberg.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, did I ever tell you that?
No.
Well, my wife went to college and was in the same sorority as his wife. Oh. And so when they had a high school reunion, this is maybe 20 years ago, before the water landing, we went to this high school reunion. I remember the day too, because it was in Reading, it was in Oroville, and it was like 106 degrees, and we were in a building that did not have air conditioning in downtown Oroville. 106 degrees.
It's always hot.
And so Sully and I spent 3 or 4 hours together at this bar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and going outside because it was actually cooler outside than it was inside. So he and I had this day that we spent together getting to know one another, and you know, I can't tell you how proud I was when I heard what he did. And I don't tell a lot of people that because he and I aren't like, you know, talking and texting or anything like that. But
well, I'll tell you, one of the most frightening things that can ever happen to you is to be sitting at your airport terminal, ready to get on board your plane. Well, I mean, you probably have half an hour or so before your plane boards. And as you're watching the TVs, there is a flight landing in the Hudson River. Wasn't the Hudson? I think?
Yeah.
Yes. That was on a day we used to go to a canine school every year down in Burbank.
Uh-huh.
And as we were flying home, us 4 deputies just sitting in the terminal watching, and I'm going to my guys, "Are you guys watching this? Are you guys watching this?"
Because we're about to get on a plane.
They just had a bird strike. Well, do you know which airport has more bird strikes than
Yes, I
any
do.
airport in the nation?
Our
It's
Sacramento. Mhm.
And so, needless to say, when our plane landed, there was a round of applause from the cabin.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for getting us back on
Oh,
land safely.
I've witnessed that firsthand myself, that when flights have been that turbulent, and you literally get off the plane and kiss the ground.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I used to have a fear of flying.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and I just did not want to get on an airplane. And then finally I had this, I guess, a resolution. I realized that once you get on that plane, you're no longer in control.
No.
It's just a matter of getting from point A to point B and how good your pilot is.
Have you ever been to Hawaii?
Oh yeah, several times.
So that's a long flight. And this thing happened, I think it said 45 minutes from the airport.
Oh man.
You're over water.
Right.
It's not like you can just, we'll just land at this nearest airport.
Over by the Jack in the Box.
Yeah. You're a long ways from, if you set it down, it's going to be a water landing.
Oh, for sure.
There's not a whole lot of choice in that
Well,
matter.
did you? Here's something you may not know. Did you know that your seat can be used as a flotation device?
I believe they say that at every.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I heard that. All right, let's move on to our next story, which is the president. Trump lawyer says he paid. Now, listen carefully here. He paid Stormy Daniels $130,000 from his own pocket, and the internet couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
Okay, before we even get to this, first of all, do you know any lawyers personally, Ron?
I do. As a matter of fact, I have a personal injury attorney lawyer
They
right now.
they never put their hands in their own pockets.
No.
They may put them in your pockets.
Yeah.
So before we read the story, the headline is telling us that this attorney allegedly
Pulled a little cash.
paid off a porn star for Donald Trump. Let's go on to read more.
Yeah. A lawyer for President Donald Trump has claimed he paid $130,000 out of his own pocket as the news of Donald Trump's alleged 2006 affair with Stormy Daniels broke. It was claimed the actress had been paid $130,000 in hush money.
Hush money, you say?
Yeah, the Washington Post initially reporting that Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen, arranged the payment.
However, Cohen told the New York Times on Tuesday that he had in fact paid Daniels the money from his own pocket in a move that has set Twitter alight with discussion.
Yeah, neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was party to the transaction with Miss Clifford. Miss Clifford? Thought it was that's probably her real name.
Yeah.
Obviously, Stormy Daniels. And neither reimbursed me for the payment, either directly or indirectly, read a statement from Cohen to the Times.
The payment to her was lawful and was not a campaign contribution or a campaign expenditure by anyone. The statement added, with Cohen, now this guy, I can't go on here. This guy is taking the fall for the president. Here's why. If it's found out that the money came from campaign contributions, then essentially what happened was our president paid the money to silence a porn star that he had an affair with.
Yeah.
But if this attorney says that he was the one that paid the money, that takes the president out of the equation except for the actual affair.
Right. Now, I saw some news, I don't know, 2020 or something, talked to her, and they asked her if she had received
I know where you're going.
$130,000 payment. And you know what she said? She said this. Yeah, loud and clear. So obviously she has a non-disclosure. She
Well,
doesn't want to lose her $130,000 payment.
no, she's claiming now that because the attorney came out and said this, that no longer excludes her from talking. She can say whatever she wants now at this point.
But I don't think she's come out and said flat out that she had an affair with the president.
Oh, then she wasn't on Ellen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
okay. All right, so bigger than this, I gotta wonder about Melania.
Oh God. Well, and of course, this kind of all broke on Valentine's Day.
Oh yeah, that's
Can
not.
you imagine that? I saw her out at some children's hospital or something with doing cupcakes on Valentine's Day, and they're showing pictures of her, and she looked like just another day.
And she looked beautiful.
She did look amazing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure she's probably used to a lot of the,
I get such a kick out of them getting off of that helicopter and walking over the lawn to wherever. She will not hold his hand.
Yeah.
She won't do it.
Yeah.
And he keeps trying.
And she probably should, because she's wearing 4-inch heels, and Lord knows she's probably going to fall if she doesn't have something to support her.
Rejected.
Denied.
I don't know. Man, have we ever had a president who was divorced while seated? I don't think so.
Not in our lifetime.
Trump and his lawyers have previously claimed that no affair took place. While a statement the lawyer sent to the Wall Street Journal that was signed by Stormy Daniels, she denied she had a sexual and/or romantic affair. Rumors that I received hush money from Donald Trump are completely false, she said. Although she later appeared to dial back on her denial on the Jimmy Kimmel Live show at the end of January, hinting rather than directly commenting due to a non-disclosure agreement.
I think that makes good sense. Somebody told me to hush for $130,000. Yeah, I probably would too.
Trust me, it wouldn't work. You would never hush.
Well, I might hint, though. I think hinting is okay, apparently.
Hush money, yes, that's good stuff. It's good work when you can get it, right?
Boy.
All right, we're going to wrap up this episode with this story. And frankly, I can't even believe that this is newsworthy, but Jared Fogle
Subway
might have his most ridiculous legal argument yet for a judge to undo his plea deal, and Larry Nassar is his Exhibit A. Please tell me more, because I'm having trouble believing this.
Well, here we go. Fogle filed docs seeking to withdraw his guilty plea and focuses on one of his many charges. Traveling for the purpose of engaging in illicit sex.
Okay.
He points out that Dr. Nassar did not get slapped with this charge, and Fogle clearly thinks he should have been.
Yes, it's true. Nassar was traveling with Team USA Gymnastics when he committed some of his crimes. Fogle, who filed the documents himself, thinks there was some bias against him because he did get that charge. He thinks he and Nassar should have gotten equal treatment under the law. Are you freaking kidding me?
Look, this is crazy. So here's why Fogle's here's why Fogle's not a great lawyer. Just one of Nassar's several sentences was for 175 years.
Jared, you didn't get 175 years, dude.
He got 15 years.
Okay.
Yeah. He's asking the court to let him withdraw his guilty plea, presumably to get a do-over in his case. Oh, be careful what you ask for. Yeah. 175 years, 15 years.
Maybe I could do a graphic of an ass hat. Challenge accepted.
Dude, just take your punishment. I mean, get out in...
It's not doing anybody any good, buddy.
He's going to be out in, I think he'll probably end up doing about 7.5 years.
I was going to say 7.
I think halftime for state.
Yeah.
So
And then he'll be registered as a sex offender, of
he's
course,
got
for
that.
the rest of his life.
Yeah, there is that for sure.
I don't think I'd want that hanging
No.
over my head.
No, but at least you're not locked up.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode of the Week in Review. We hope that you have enjoyed, and in fact, maybe even gotten some information that you hadn't heard about on these news stories that we deem noteworthy.
Yeah.
All right, if you would like, you'll find more information on each one of us, and both of us combined, below in our description. There will be links to the stories. There will be links to our sponsors, our blogs, our webpage, etc. We are Men Are So Smart. Our website is menarесosmart.com. I have a meeting coming up in this next week with a gentleman who will be taking care of merchandise for Men Are So Smart.
Very exciting.
And the first thing that we're going to roll out will either be a t-shirt or perhaps
Ooh, a hoodie.
a hoodie.
Ooh.
Stay tuned for more details.
Damn.
I'm Lou Gallagher.
I'm Corvette Ronnie.
And this has been Men Are So Smart. We'll see you on the flip side. Isn't that a CB term?
That is.
Bye.